Hey. Welcome back to the No Shoes podcast of Mrs. Fearless. Nothing dressed up, just real talk. So again, this month is MS Awareness Month, so I want to bring different things that affect us, those of us who have MS, to the forefront, and just so people understand what it is we go through on a daily basis. Our symptoms differ, but there are some common things that we do share in common. Fatigue is one, brain fog is another, and that's what I'm going to touch on today. So when people hear about multiple sclerosis, they only think about the physical aspects of the illness. They don't think about the other things that go along with it. So the fatigue, the brain fog, and with the fatigue, it comes a lot of tiredness. So I relate it to us having to stop, lay down, or just sit down and get some rest. I like to call it us charging. Fully charged. So what brain fog is a cognitive symptom of MS that affects your focus. It affects your memory, how you process information, and finding the right words. For me, it affects me in a way where I forget a lot. I could have had a conversation with you, and right after I forget what we talked about. I get frustrated with my husband sometimes, and he probably gets frustrated with me because he'll often remind me, well, you don't remember us having this conversation. And with me, which I shouldn't do it, I will be like, I don't need you to do that. I feel like he's just like, oh, like he's forgetting that I have MS, but it's not that. I just get frustrated with forgetting. That's one of the ways it affects me. I have a calendar in this office. I have a calendar right outside the door of my office. I have a calendar downstairs. I utilize my Google Calendar on my phone. And I also, if I'm working at my desk and I don't feel like pulling up Google Calendar on my phone, I'll pull it up on my desktop and I'll add things. Little simple things sometimes too, just little tasks because I forget really bad. It's the best way I can describe it is like your brain's moving through mud, or kind of like a Wi-Fi connection, like it's not connecting, or walking into a room and forgetting why you went into that room. I think the most frustrating thing about it is sometimes people will think that we're purposely forgetting. They don't understand it. And it's not that at all. They'll think that we're not paying attention. I think for me, again, I have to speak for me and how I deal with it. I am now a certified professional coder through the AAPC. I took the test 4 times because I could not hold on to the information that I was studying. My brain just was not functioning properly. I couldn't hold on to information like I used to. I've never been a great test taker, but this just became more frustrating because that test, 1, you got to pay for it. 2, it's a lot of information because you have 3 thick books that you're having to go through. And you have to remember mainly like coding conventions, things like that. Not so much the codes, but the conventions and all that good stuff. So, I was having an issue. I took it 4 times. 4 times the charm, as they say. The reality of brain fog is that your brain is dealing with neurological changes, because MS is a neurological illness. Fatigue, which is us getting tired, makes it worse because the more tired you are, the harder it is for you to think, function. And I want to touch quickly on that. When you're first diagnosed with MS, the first support group that I went to, they talked about spoons. And I'm going to take a few minutes to just quickly go over what that means. And just so that you understand, we have an energy bank. So we have energy reserves. And it's less than what a normal person would have. So I want to go over that with you all quickly. I'll be right back. So here what you see is the spoon theory, which is a way to explain what living with a chronic illness like MS feels like when it comes to energy. This idea was created by Miss Christine Maiserandino. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. And in this theory, the spoons represent units of energy. So a healthy person will usually have plenty of energy and doesn't have to think about it, but someone with a chronic illness starts the day with a limited number of spoons. So everyday tasks use spoons like getting dressed, getting out of bed, going to work, cooking, running errands, just to name few, excuse me. So once the spoons are gone, that person may experience fatigue, brain fog, or pain, and they may have to stop and rest, get fully charged, as I said earlier. So the spoon theory helps people understand why those with chronic illnesses have to carefully manage their energy throughout the day. So that was just a little explanation of the spoon theory. I found out about the spoon theory through one of the support groups I went to, with the very first support group that I went to. My neurologist didn't tell me about it, and I don't think it was that he didn't purposefully didn't tell me. He was just trying to focus on the important things that I needed to know at the time of my diagnosis, which was, what medications I was going to get on to help slow the progression. Because again, I want to remind you that the medications that we take for MS, they do not cure it. They just slow the progression, because there is no cure for MS. So I'm going to post some resources at the end of this video for you all to go to and read up more about brain fog and the spoon theory. And again, I'll make sure those get posted at the end of the video, so you can go and check those out. If you have a family member or a friend who suffers from MS, or you just want to find out, read up on it and educate yourself, those resources will be available at the end of this video. So I just want to thank you guys again for, watching the video, supporting the channel, because I think it's important for us, especially with the Black community. It is starting to affect a lot of us. And I think it's important that we understand and know what it is that we're dealing with, so that you get to see what it is you will potentially be dealing with. One thing is for certain, two things for sure, is that you are definitely going to deal with fatigue. You're definitely going to deal with that. How your symptoms start out will differ from everybody else's. Some people have the same symptoms, some don't. But I think it's important that we share everybody's experiences, those who are willing to share. I think it's important. So with that being said, I want y'all to have a great evening. Thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Support the channel by doing that. And I will see y'all on the next video. All right? Y'all have a good one.